Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Logistics Executive TV. I'm joined today by Mark Lutton, is the head of our Corporate Advisory Consulting Strategy Division here in Dubai. And of course, we're joined by a special guest. This gentleman has a very extensive multi-decade experience across, right across the logistics sector, but in particular, in the freight industry, having managing director roles and advisory positions currently across several boards, but in particular, has got a very rich past with DB Schenker. So without further ado, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Ron Koehler.
Ron, in terms of the end-to-end supply chain service and logistics, who do you think does it well and who do you think could do it better across the industry? Is there anybody that stands out to you?
I mean, obviously my experience is where I worked a lot at DB Schenker, and we did specific customers extremely well. You focused on and massive accounts, and no doubt Koehler or DSV or SIVA can do these things well too. It depends on country specific, I guess. You should never generalize. There are strong countries for every of these organizations and not so strong countries. Trade lanes, of course, as well. And then mode of transport and IT capabilities, because if you do end-to-end, you touch the manufacturer, you touch the end consignee, do it 4PL or you do 5PL, how deep do you go into the supply chain? And that depends on the solutions. I mean, if you take Amazon, they don't make anything. They are just a massive supply chain company in the end of the day, and then they're doing it well, what they've achieved in the last 20 years,
Yeah, that's something that we hear more and more of today across the consulting, is the technology and that needs to be put in place in the future. Obviously, everybody talks about how the impact of AI, but the ones that can link the technology end to end are going to be the leaders in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Mark. Good information, up-to-date information, and reliable information is important. That goes without saying, but there's still, even with the large companies, a lot of this happening in the background, and that creates mistakes. And pure volume, you can't cater for that these days anymore. So if you have one system, so to speak, and then bulk maybe on both sides of the supply chain, local systems, that's definitely the future. But the fewer integrations you have, the less problems you will have. And we all know it from our e-commerce experience. If you get good data and reliable data, you know where it is. Even if it's delayed, it's okay as long as you get informed, but if it's delayed and you don't know about it and nobody tells you anything, that's when you get anxious and all the problems start. So you need to be proactive in that game and have the information on your fingertips, so to speak.